absolutely beautiful. Nathan Pacheco is a talented force in the world of music, and he puts good into the world through song. As a world-renowned vocalist and songwriter, Nathan is a multilingual performer with a vocal range that seamlessly spans from opera to inspirational music to his own original compositions. His extraordinary talent has taken him across the globe, performing with prestigious orchestras on some of the world's most notable stages. He's an artist who can do it all, and he does, with passion, faith, and a deep love for music. And we are thrilled to have Nathan Pacheco in studio with us today. Welcome to Studio 5.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. I love hearing the passion. Thank you.
Oh, I love it. Like I was saying, I am not musical. I can't hit a note to save my life, but oh, how I appreciate those who do. And so hearing your music and your words are always so inspirational, so powerful. Has music always been a part of your life?
It has, actually. I was one of those kids that grew up in a musical home. My mom taught piano out of the home, and so in one way or another, I was involved with music ever since I was a kid, and it's just become a part of who I am.
When did you really fall in love with it and maybe even know that it was going to be your career and your passion for life?
I didn't always know that it was going to be my career passion, but I always loved, I was involved with the high school choirs and musicals. I had so much fun, getting on stage, connecting with people through music. And it was when I was studying at BYU that I just had a few different experiences where I was like, okay, I need to find some way to make this my job because this is fun.
This is fun. Now, you recently performed at President Russell M. Nelson, the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, his 100th birthday.
Yes.
Tell me about that. Well,
first of all, it was an enormous honor. It really was, and I have so much respect for him. And, there kind of are no words. I sang at his 95th birthday celebration and then his 100th birthday celebration, and, it was so inspiring for me to see how, even though it was all about him, he kind of made it all about other people. He made me feel so special and appreciated, and he did the same for other people that were involved. It's a really an unforgettable experience.
That sounds so neat. I love hearing that about people too, that we don't know but we see, and just hearing that they're so nice and lovable.
Right.
Now, you have released a new album, unlike anything else you've done before. Tell us about that.
So, I'm sure you're familiar with Wicked just being released in the movies.
Yes, we just saw it this weekend.
Same. So I love movie musicals, and I wanted to write one of my own. So I wrote a musical called Beloved. I released it as an audiobook earlier this year, and it's been the most fulfilling project that I've ever worked on. And as the name implies, it's a love story, but woven throughout the story are themes of optimism, hope, courage, heartbreak, and loss. And my goal is to make this into a movie musical. And so I've been working like crazy over the past few months to create a movie pitch to submit it to Angel Studios and a few other movie studios. And so in the meantime, people can find the audiobook at my website, and but I cannot wait to take this to the stage and take this to the big screen.
I feel like we got a little bit of announcement, little sneak peek there, so we will be crossing our fingers. That is so exciting.
Thank you.
Nathan, you'll be touring Utah for your Higher Christmas tour from December 11th to December 23rd. To find a performance near you, go to nathanpacheco.com, and we'll link you there through our website, studio5.ksl.com. Now, Nathan is sticking around to discuss an issue many women face every day: the pursuit of perfectionism. He'll share how he embraces it in the spotlight and at home, so stay close for that conversation. Perfectionism is a personality trait many women wrestle with, especially around the holidays. From decking the perfect tree to getting the perfect gift, the pressure to be on top of your game can feel suffocating. But my next guest says perfectionism is not something to be squashed, it's something to navigate. We're back with award-winning vocalist Nathan Pacheco. Welcome back, Nathan.
Thank you.
Now, you say, and I thought this was so interesting because I definitely deal with those feelings and the traits of perfectionism, as does my 11-year-old daughter, my mom. I mean, we kind of all have it in us, and you say it's not something that we need to overcome, but something we can learn to navigate. Explain that to me a little bit more and how you've learned about that.
Well, I personally don't think it's possible to fully overcome it, just because as human beings, it's inevitable that we beat up on ourselves every now and then. We're always trying to be better, and it's kind of a tendency for us to be so hard on ourselves, to kind of push ourselves to get to where we want to be. And so I don't think it's possible to overcome that, but I think that there are ways that we can kind of navigate it and kind of harness it to our benefit. And in the process, learn how to be a lot kinder to ourselves so that, yeah, we're making the progress that we want to, but we're not miserable along the way.
Yeah, beating ourselves up for it over and over
Right.
again when we can't get rid of it or overcome it.
Yeah.
Now, in this world, too, I feel like we're kind of bombarded on social media and around us with the idea of perfectionism. Like, where do you think that yearning comes from?
I mean, I personally think that I think that perfectionism is probably us thinking that we're not good enough, thinking that we have to prove our worth to other people or God. And I think that we can take that in the wrong direction to where it just leads to just us feeling isolated and alone and miserable. And so I think that it's easy for that to get blown out of proportion, especially with social media, entertainment, or being in the entertainment business. There are definitely some challenges.
Yeah. And do you feel like there's any positives to perfectionism? Like, have you taken your feelings of perfectionism and used them and kind of harnessed them to help you in any way and make that a positive in your life?
Absolutely. And I've thought about this a lot, because at times I'm like, man, I just wish I weren't so hard on myself. But I do think that there's a lot of good that can come from just being a perfectionist, because I mean, if you're not going to be pushing yourself to do your best, who is?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's so important for us to learn how to be kind to ourselves. Now, something that I have learned is that perfection is not the goal. That's according to my humble opinion, but that connection is. And I think that there's a huge difference. Something that I've learned to do every single day is just to try to connect with people, family members, friends, or with people that I perform for. As I connect with people, it's almost as if I feel complete, I feel whole, and then this feeling that I need to prove myself just kind of dissolves, and everything's okay.
I love that.
I feel whole.
I love that. And it
complete.
makes me think of just even when we serve other people, we take ourselves out of like our own internal, mindset, and we're focused on other people, and we start to forget about those, just maybe more internal ideas of perfectionism, and we forget about them. So I love that connection piece to it. It's kind of like the service. Now, you also talk about letting go of over criticism.
Yeah.
How do you do that? What do you mean by that?
I think that it's kind of like a conscious. Can I share a story?
I would love
when
that.
I started out in the music business, I started training with this teacher in Manhattan. And the main thing that she was trying to do was help me to stop grabbing the tongue and throat muscles. Basically, I was trying to force my way to the high notes, but it would kind of have this strangling effect on my voice. Well, I remember thinking one day, after quite a few lessons, I just kind of it clicked, and I was able to understand how to apply what she was teaching, how to support properly, so I could kind of gain that freedom that I was going after with the high notes. And I find it so fascinating and incredibly touching to realize how well the Lord knows us. I believe that He speaks to us in ways that make sense to us, using examples that are just clear to our minds. And I feel like I learned something that day through the Spirit. And, if I were to try to put those feelings into words, it would be, Nathan, just as you haven't been able to hit high notes because of how you've been tightening up all your tongue and throat muscles, the greatest threat to your happiness in life is how hard you are on yourself. It's as if you're strangling who you really are.
Wow.
But that was so eye-opening to me, because I was so confused. I thought that my judgment towards myself was a reflection of God's judgment towards myself. And so I would assume that if I was beating up on myself and feeling bad about myself, that must be a reflection of how God feels about me. And so since that experience, it's helped me separate how I treat myself and how the Lord must feel about me, and that's been a really helpful experience.
I love how you were able to take something that you're already focused on, something that's meaningful to you, and that you were able to connect that with the answer on how to work on these other things.
Sure.
It wasn't just music and the vocals, but the perfectionism at the same time. And I think that's so neat. I love that story. I love your insight. I wish we could just spend all morning together, because I want to hear more from you. But remind us one more time, concert, where can we find all the details? We're so excited about this.
Yeah, so nathanpacheco.com is my website. You can find all the concert dates there. I'll be finishing off the tour on December 23rd here in Salt Lake at a Bravino Hall, and I cannot wait.
Okay, so exciting. Of course, we'll link you on the Studio 5 website. Nathan, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you.
A lot of fun.